Hello, it is Monday, September 18th, 2023. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. As you might be able to notice, I'm back in my normal environment. In fact, if you watched yesterday's sort of extra solves, the shorter word puzzles, you might have seen that, in fact, I was home then as well. And unfortunately, I still don't have very much time today. I got a very late start this morning as I was very tired from the travel, and so I'm going to have to solve this quickly. It should be possible, though. It's the day for it. If there's going to be one to solve quickly, it's Monday, and that is what we're solving today. So this hopefully quick solve of a Monday puzzle has been brought to us by William Arundel, Adam and Annette Noble, Emma Smith, and, as always, the indomitable Showmaster and the incredible Horan family. So thank you so much to the 5 of them, benefactors of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign, for their generous support. They do sustain this channel, keep this series going. I'm very grateful to them for that. So thank you to the 5 of them. Thank you to everybody who's a supporter of the Patreon campaign. I really do appreciate it. And you can become a supporter yourself by going to patreon.com/dailysolve or clicking the link in the description field underneath the video. And there you can find, of course, the bonus videos available to patrons. And I did post the most recent mini puzzle pseudo speed solve, which went up a few days late, but that went up yesterday. So that is there if you are a patron. Thank you, of course, if you are. And thank you if you're a subscriber on YouTube. Please consider becoming one of those. Can't speak, doesn't bode well. Yes, do subscribe to the channel, please, if you've enjoyed these videos. And finally, there's the Daily Solve Discord chat server. You can join that from a link in the description field as well. All right, let's get on to the crossword. This was constructed by Kevin Christian and Andrea Carla Michaels. Kevin Christian, I think somewhere in the neighborhood of a dozen puzzles, maybe more than that. And Andrea Carla Michaels, very experienced, I think over 80 puzzles to her name. So a fairly experienced collaboration here, and it was edited, of course, as always, by Will Shorts. It's a Monday puzzle, so there will be a theme, and we'll find out what it is in a moment. Let's start solving, see how we get on. The IRS's 1040 EG, that's a form, a tax form. And Minnesota blank, pool shark in The Hustler. Oh, right, Minnesota Fats. It's the character in The Hustler. Okay, solo at the Met would be an aria. So the Met can refer to many things. In this case, it refers to the Metropolitan Opera. So you could have a song for a featured singer, so an aria in an opera. If something's not written, it could be oral, could be spoken or maintained orally. Rub the wrong way is to rile somebody, maybe. I think, let's put it in and see if it works. Blabber continuously. Presumably this will be a theme clue because it spans the whole grid and it's being referenced by 62 across, which I assume will end up being our revealer. But let's see. Talk one's ear off? No. Talk your ear? No, that's the same number of letters. Well, it's probably talk. What are you going to do about it? Make me, you might say. Make me solve this crossword, and I'll do that anyway. Icy wet stuff is sleet. Ring-shaped coral island is an atoll. So, blabber continuously. Talk at great length. That's not really interesting enough, and it's not the right number of letters. So, police alert for short could be APB, an all points bulletin. If the you issue an all points bulletin, if you want all recipients to be aware. Literature and music for two. Arts. Those are two examples of arts. I see. Temporary price reduction to drive sales is probably some sort of sale. Oh, no, it won't be because sales is in the clue. Okay, right. I'm not sure actually what that is. Indeed, so it is. Thus, or let's see. No, it's not that. Place for a cruise ship to stop would be a pier. Indeed, so it is. This is definitely arts. What am I not seeing about this? No, this isn't right. Well, something's wrong. One of these two things is wrong. I'll delete them both for now because I'm not sure. Change as needed to fit in. To adapt would be to change as needed to fit in. And of course, this clue could be a noun or a verb. I read it initially as a noun, but in fact, it's a verb. Have a part in a play would be to act in a role. Turkey drumstick, but not the breast, e.g., could be dark meat. So drumstick, a leg of poultry would be dark meat. Tiler's measurement would be area. So if someone's tiling a room, for instance, they'll need to know the area to cover. Eat, Pray, Love is famously the 2006 Elizabeth Gilbert memoir. And a young'un is a tyke. There we go. My first thought was taut, but that doesn't fit. Tyke does. And to schlep something around would be to carry it. So, is it talk a blue streak? Is that blabber continuously? That sounds familiar. What about this? Wraparound garment of India is a sari. This is surely the official wraparound garment of the New York Times crossword. I don't think I've designated that one before, but it must be the case. Actress Dunham is Lena Dunham, the actress and writer. Indeed, so it is. Why? I feel as though I have some sort of black hole in my brain regarding this answer that I can't seem to see for some reason. Indeed, so it is. True. There we go. That's the answer. So literature and music are arts. There we go. That was correct. A temporary price reduction to drive sales is a rollback, a price rollback, I suppose. Okay. And a place for a cruise ship to stop is, of course, a port. That should have been obvious, but I guess I threw myself off with something else. I don't know. Or not. I guess I didn't throw myself off. I just answered it correctly. Foul odor is a stench, a terrible smell. And to burn the midnight oil student style would be to cram for an exam. Source of after-hours cash for short would be an ATM, an automated teller machine, a cash point. And a Utah city that shares its name with a biblical kingdom must be Moab, or I assume it's pronounced Moab. Is it Moab? Moab, I don't know. Beverages that can be pale or stout. You could have a pale ale or a stout ale. So there we have it. Oh, and did we get anything from this talk of blue streak? I don't think so. Oh, but it'll be colors, won't it? Because this will have white in it. To harmlessly deceive somebody would be to tell a white lie. Okay. So these are very formally consistent so far because we have to something, we have a speaking verb, and then the indefinite article a, then a color, then something else. So talk a blue streak, tell a white lie. We'll see if they all fit quite that tightly. George Harrison's All Those Years. I actually don't know this, but I assume it would be a go. That sounds correct. Marissa, who won an Oscar for My Cousin Vinny, she won an Oscar for Marissa Tomei won an Oscar for that role. That's a good movie. It's a funny movie. I haven't seen it in absolutely ages. Cracked open a little. If something. Oh well. Okay. This could be a verb or an adjective. I read it first as a verb, as in you cracked open the door a little. But in fact, I think it's an adjective. The door is cracked open a little. It's ajar. A window or door component would be a jam, as in a door jam. And a language related to Inuit would be Aleut, would be my suspicion. Sorry, my eyes are watering. Inaugural celebration would be a gala, sort of fancy party. And to be cause for serious concern, say, would be to raise a red flag. There we go. Okay, so they aren't necessarily all speaking verbs at the beginning. Although, actually, you could say it is. If you raise a topic, that actually can be used to mean to speak about it. So, yeah, maybe they do all fit that precise format. And then time-wasting labor is busy work. A city council member could be an alderman. There we go. That's a title used in some places, not universally. Elevator in London would be a lift. So in London doesn't mean it needs to be physically in London. It just means it's what they might call an elevator here in London, which would be a lift. That's just the UK English term. Cheers in Stockholm would be skål. I don't know I'm pronouncing that correctly, so I'm sorry if I'm not. And Whose Line Is It Anyway is a improv sort of show series. And then 1983 Peace Nobelist Walesa Lekolesa. Again, I'm not sure I'm pronouncing this correctly, but I am certain that is correct. So there we go. A slip of the tongue is a common phrase. Ordinary would be plain. End of list abbreviation would be et al. You might list authors, but then you simply list the rest with et al, or you indicate the rest with et al. City leader would be a mayor. Maybe a mayor would work with the alderman. And if you're in a recumbent position, you're lying down. Greek letter or a tiny bit. Iota is a Greek letter, and we use that. We refer to a tiny bit of something, and just not one iota, not one tiny bit. Band leader Puente, famously Tito Puente, there we go. And the god of romantic love would be Eros. And a rapper with a Harvard hip hop fellowship named in his honor is Nas. I didn't know that. That's interesting. To look up what that's about. New Haven University would be Yale. And Darjeeling or Earl Grey, either one of those is a tea. Of course, this is an or clue, so we're only referring to either one of these teas. So the answer is singular, not plural. Actor Guinness, Alec Guinness, the late great actor, and au revoir would be until we meet again in French. At any time could be, oops, I misspelled Alec Guinness's name, sorry about that. At any time would be ever. Jane Austen novel that inspired Clueless famously was Emma. And to complain loudly and at length would be to rant about something. An office contact number would be an extension, I think. You don't see these as often these days, but they're still sometimes around. Broadcast booth analysis or a hint to 1727 or 47 across. Color commentary, there we go. That is a sort of, oops, I misspelled plane. How on earth did I do that? That was a drastic misspelling. Anyway, color commentary, the kind of sports announcer who isn't doing the serious analysis so much. And of course, these are all bits of, so I was right about the speaking verbs. These are all bits of color commentary. They're things you would say, and they're associated with colors. Very good. Loops in surreptitiously would be BCC's blind carbon copy someone on an email so they're not aware that of the others you've included. To give into wanderlust would be to roam if you're sort of stir crazy, maybe. Stir crazy is not the right way to put it. But you want to travel. You feel a need to travel. Tickle Me Muppet would be Elmo, right? Tickle Me Elmo, that toy that was absolutely just phenomenally popular one year, and people were sort of fighting each other in toy stores and things. Witch's Concoction would be a brew. A Toyota sedan would be a Toyota Camry. And a deli bread option would be rye, a common bread at a deli. Something you haven't been able to do on planes since 2000 would be to smoke. I remember for years you'd have many aircraft, probably some still do, would have the little ashtrays in the seats. Cedar Rapids native would be an Iowan, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. I think that's the site of a famous amusement park that people from there are very proud of. Many would be a lot of, at least, well, I shouldn't say that they are. I should say that people I know from that area seem to be very proud of it. Shouldn't speak on behalf of other Iowans. Start of many a fairy tale. Once as in Once Upon a Time. And events similar to blank con. I suppose blank fest. So you have sort of Comic Con or Comic Fest. I probably don't have that, but other, such things are named in that way. To taper off would be to wane. Something declines. And a curved trajectory would, plural curved trajectories would be arcs. And a Russian refusal would be niet. And I think that's the puzzle. There we have it. The Monday crossword, a nice, gentle, not conclusion. I really am. It's a miracle that I solved this as well as I did, because my brain does not seem to be properly forming words and sentences. In any case, it was a nice start to the solving week. And nice and gentle, as we expect on Monday, and as I clearly needed. So we had our color commentary theme, which referred to 3 answers in the grid, which involved some way to say something using a colorful metaphor. So we had talk a blue streak, tell a white lie, and finally raise a red flag. So a very consistently constructed theme, symmetrically disposed, as we would expect from a theme of this sort. And there we have it, a nice puzzle from Kevin Christian and Andrea Carla Michaels, with a nice range of answers in the grid, and, as I say, approachable, as we expect on a Monday. So thank you to them for that. Thank you to you for watching. I'll try and get back to the clues from previous days' puzzles. Hopefully tomorrow I'm back on something of a normal schedule, and that will be more feasible. So thank you again for joining me for the puzzle. I will be back tomorrow, of course, as I said. I hope you join me for that. But until that point, please do have an excellent remainder of your Monday. Take care.